The current pre-release promotional period for Pokémon Sword and Shield has been a roller coaster of emotions to say the least. Everything from amazing Pokémon designs and fantastic new features to uproar over the lack of a national dex and the appearance of certain trees has been the cause for a lot of debate amongst fans for these new titles. However, for all of the passion and emotion that's gone into the debates about these games, the one thing I think has been lost in the discussion are quite literally the games themselves. People have been so focused on trying to argue for their side of the discussion that what exactly these games are doing has been largely glossed over, and that's shaping up to be one of the most magical and highly requested Pokemon adventures we've ever seen, and that's exactly what I want to highlight today. Now, the purpose of this video is not to try and deflate any arguments or say that they are invalid. The goal is simply to bring to light some amazing things that these games are doing that I personally feel are getting a little bit overshadowed. One thing I've come to notice over the past few months as we've learned more and more information about these games is just how many highly requested features and mechanics are going to be in this one title. For instance, ever since open world games started rising to prominence within the gaming industry, fans have been crying for an open world Pokemon game. It's one of those staple dream Pokemon game mechanics that everyone likes to talk about, and wouldn't you know it, we're getting a huge open world section in this game in the form of the wild area. Granted, that might not extend to the entire game, but it's a nice start considering this is the first home console Pokemon experience as far as the main series is concerned. Speaking of which, ever since Pokemon debuted as a franchise during the days of the Nintendo 64, fans have wanted a main series game to be on a home console. That's probably the longest standing dream request that there's been for new Pokemon games within the community, and it's happening with this game. And regardless of how you personally feel about the graphics, this is also far and away the best any Pokemon game has ever looked, and it's a gargantuan step up graphically from the last main series game, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And honestly, the more I've looked at these games, the more I've realized they include a plethora of things that fans have been wanting for years. There's the return of regional variants, which signifies Game Freak bringing back a fan favorite feature and expanding upon it, and not just abandoning it after one game. And expand upon it they did, as not only are there more regional forms to be had, but there are also non-Kanto versions of these Pokemon as well, which is another thing that fans desperately asked for coming off of Sun and Moon. Another thing along those lines that fans have also been dying to make a return are new evolutions to old Pokemon, something that outside of Sylveon hasn't truly been a thing since Generation 4. And sure enough, that feature is making a comeback as well, and it even includes evolutions for Pokemon that fans have been specifically pleading for, such as Sirfetch'd, the long-awaited evolution to Farfetch'd. It doesn't stop there either though, because if we go down the list of things that have been requested for new Pokemon games over the years, we'll find the request for a free 3D camera that can be controlled by the player, and wouldn't you know it, that's in the game too. I would also be remiss if I didn't mention the desire for a jerk, arrogant rival that's been on the wish lists of fans since Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, when Game Freak started to stray away from that concept, and sure enough, we have a rival named Bede in these games who looks about as smug and cocky as we could have possibly hoped for, even if he does kind of look like a grandma. If you thought I was done there though, then you'd be sorely mistaken, as this game just keeps on giving and giving when it comes to these hotly requested features. One thing a lot of fans have wanted to see is a Pokemon MMO, so you can interact with other players in real time, and they can be the trainers you battle on your journey. Heck, there's even a bunch of fan games that use this exact concept, and now it's here officially in Sword and Shield with some introductory MMO elements. Like, what? That didn't seem like it would ever exist in an official Pokemon game, but Game Freak's like, here, take it. There's also the return of wild Pokemon in the overworld, which even though that came first in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, it's still something that fans have really wanted to see for a long time, and it even blends that with the classic random encounters as well. And then, just to add a cherry on top for all you competitive folk out there, we've got the introduction of ranked online battles. In a series that's all about being the best like no one ever was, this has been something fans have wanted basically since online multiplayer became a thing. And it's even coupled with the ability to rent other people's teams to just try them out. And being able to quickly try out and play with custom teams like that is one of the big reasons why Pokémon Showdown was created in the first place and why so many people play it, which scratches another big thing off of that Pokémon wish list, particularly for those competitive people. And even after all of that, that still doesn't take into consideration so many of the things that are just there that are going to greatly add to the experience. For example, I've mentioned it before, but the orchestrated music in this game is going to take things to a whole other level, and even the little bit we have heard of the soundtrack has already proved to be magical. And speaking of magical, playing through the games for the first time will be made all the more magical by the fact that they've been very tight-lipped about what they've been revealing for these games. There is so much we haven't seen from these games that we are going to get to see for the first time in our own playthroughs, which is another thing that fans requested after Sun and Moon's pre-release period showed off way too much of those games. So all in all, I'm not trying to say that these games are perfect. No, they won't have a National Dex or Mega Evolution, and certain things are bound to need improvement. But that doesn't take away from what Game Freak have done in putting together a game full of so many things that we, the fans, have wanted to see, and to have not just one or two of these requests, but a pretty dang big handful of them all in the same game, with more maybe even on the way depending on what has yet to be revealed, is truly something special that deserves to be appreciated, because I am sure that it's going to make for a special, one-of-a-kind Pokemon experience. With that said, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, make sure to subscribe if you're new, and be sure to check out the trailer for my new project, Pokemon Cardinal, where I take you through an entire Pokemon region I have created. Link to that will be in the iCard at the top right corner of the screen, and I'm also giving away these fancy custom game cases if you'd like to support the project on Patreon. They're pretty rad, I'm just saying. I'll be back on Thursday though with another video, so be sure to hit the notification bell as well for that. And until the next one, as always, I love you guys, and I will smell you guys later.